Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Well, this is the first video in a series I'm going to be creating. I'm pretty excited about this. As you can see, I have no birds in this aviary anymore. All the finches are sold, the quails are sold, and yeah, completely cleaned out the aviary, disinfected it, which is something I do every year anyway. And usually twice a year, but at least once a year. But this time around it's because I'm getting some new birds. So I've just cut some fresh perches and I've just tried them out. And I'm pretty happy with them. And I've also just tried out some positioning of some nest boxes and one of the other another one of my creations which some of you might know is a stress perch, but I'll go through a little bit more about that in a moment. But as you can probably tell by the nest boxes, I'm getting back into Gouldians, so I'm pretty excited about this. I've kept Gouldians for many years. First started keeping them, geez, nearly 40 years ago when they were quite uncommon here in Melbourne due to our cold weather, and they were considered very much specialist birds. I used to breed them inside a shed, cabinet style, and it took me quite a few years to become successful with them, and then I got out of finches for some time, and in more recent years I kept Gouldians again and was successful in breeding them. Now they were in my suspended aviary, but I haven't had any in my new aviary, so of course this is not really, I guess, a new aviary anymore. But as you probably would have seen in my previous videos of my building it, I've made it part suspended and part conventional for a variety of reasons. I'll put a link in the description below if you'd like to see me building the aviary, which was quite exciting to make those videos and share with you the journey of creating this. Now I've already kept some star finches and bred those in here. They were really great. I've bred plenty of king quail, and I've had tricolour nuns. But yeah, one lot of Gouldians have eluded me, and that is, well, in terms of breeding, blue Gouldians. Now I have had multiple blue Gouldians before and and had offspring from them, but none of them have been blue. So this time around I'm very excited. I'm going to be specifically breeding for blue offspring. So you'll see in the next part of this series, I think it'll be episode 2, I believe I will make it, which is where I'm going to be purchasing 1 or 2 pairs of blue and split blue Gouldians for breeding purposes. And yeah, this series is going to center around that. So this is obviously the very beginning of the series. I'm just showing you sort of how I'm going to set things up in the future. The aviary is a blank space at the moment. I haven't got any seed or water. Now I'm waiting for the breeder that I'm going to be buying them off for him to be ready, and that's about a month away. So I just thought I'd get the aviary ready, get my perches ready. I've cleaned everything out, and essentially now I'm just sort of, yeah, working out some nest choices. So I think I'm going to give them 3 nest choices. Now these I guess you would say are your typical Gouldian options, which are like a smaller finch nest, your typical sort of Gouldian nest, and that in here has a step in it here on the inside, a block, so it's actually like an L shape. Gouldians really seem to be attracted to those kind of nest boxes, which is sort of like a shallower entrance area and then deeper nest itself. And I've also got one here which is essentially the same thing, but it's got a quite a large privacy balcony. So I'm just giving them 3 options whether they want to be very private, a bit more of your typical Gouldian, or then a little bit smaller. So I'm yet to have a chat to the breeder about what nests he uses, so but I think I will give the pairs these 3 options and just see what happens. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is what I call, or what a lot of us in Australia call, stress perches. I've made this myself. Basically, it gives enough space for each Gouldian to have its own little sleeping bay. Now, I had worked off, I actually had made a 2-bay stress perch previously, and then I made this 4-bay one for when I was breeding Gouldians before, and they work really well. And it also, if there's any kind of drafts in here as well, the birds can quite securely go in there and get out of the draft. But it gives them somewhere quite nice to sleep. And if there's any, for some reason out here, if there's a storm or birds are clattering around on the wire or the possums are running along the fence, as they all do, it gives them somewhere really cozy and private to sleep. So I'll be leaving that in here, but I'll be taking the nest boxes out until breeding season. Here in Melbourne, look, opinions differ on the breeding season of Gouldians, but I generally put the nest boxes in sort of February. Some people put them in January. I like to put them in a bit later, due to the fact that our Melbourne summer is so extremely hot. You know, we quite regularly get temperatures in 40 degrees Celsius. And I like for most of that hot weather to go, and then the finches seem pretty much ready to breed sort of come February, March, April. That's when I've had my most success, and then the young ones are out of the nest and fully fledged by the time we start getting into winter here, which is sort of June, and it gets quite cold here again, down to sort of 0 degrees Celsius possibly. So I like to give the Gouldians the chance to have one big clutch in sort of February, late February, sort of early March, and then that's pretty much it, unless for some reason I don't get to catch them in time and they have a second clutch, that I'm not too what would you say, concerned, because August is probably our coldest month, so hopefully they've had, if they are going to have 2 clutches, but I generally give my Gouldians 1 clutch, and I find they usually have sort of, maybe about 6 young if you give them 1 clutch a year, and it keeps them nice and strong and healthy. So I just thought I'd give you a bit of a look at my layout. I won't be getting any quails immediately. I'm going to let the Gouldians settle in and hopefully successfully breed before I bring any more quails in, just because I don't want these birds disturbed at all, competing for the seed on the ground or anything like that. These birds are going to be reasonably expensive in terms of Gouldian mutations. That they are becoming a lot more common. They were quite rare, the blue colour, but a lot of people are getting into them over the years now, and the prices are coming down, which is really great. I just wanted to give you a bit of a first look at the aviary. So I guess in a moment we're going to fast forward in time, and I'm going to be putting in the water and the seed and a little bit of cuttlefish down on the little hook there for them. And and that'll be the end of episode 1, and that'll essentially just be the preparation for my Gouldian pairs. And the next episode will basically be myself showing you how I transport the birds, how I get them ready to put back into the aviary. If they won't have leg rings, and I will also show you how I put my leg rings on for identification purposes. And we'll put them into the aviary. And from there on, the series will continue. I'm going to try and bring you the different stages of breeding the Gouldians, putting the nests in, seeing what they do, some videos of them feeding and exactly how I feed them. And then hopefully when they're successful, some footage of some chicks perhaps, or eggs, and then the young as they leave the nest. And hopefully the finale, the grand finale, will be some, quite a few blue Gouldians flying around in this aviary. And I'll be a very happy man, because that'll be something I've wanted to tick off my list ever since I first saw a blue Gouldian, which was many years ago. But when I first started getting into Gouldians, just breeding normal coloured Gouldians was considered quite a feat. Yeah, nowadays, of course, mutations of all birds are a lot more popular than back in the early 80s, and a lot more mutations are available, which is fantastic. And it is. I know a lot of people will argue that the normal-looking Gouldian is still the best, and yes, look, it is quite hard to argue with that. But there's something about blue series birds and blue mutations that I'm really attracted to. Love them in parrots and finches. So I do have a little bit of a list of blue series mutations of some different species that I want to breed in the future, and hopefully I can do a similar video series as the one I'm doing now. But as I said, we're going to fast forward in time here, and I'm going to show you my preparations for bringing the Gouldians home, and then we're going to finish off this video and hopefully go and get ourselves some brand new birds. I'm pretty excited. So okay, so here we go. Here's some magic. We're going to fast forward in time. Okay guys, just a quick look at the transport cage that I'm going to be using to go and pick up my new finches. So I've had a chat with the breeder and selected a couple of pairs of finches, and of course as soon as I get them you'll get to have a look at them. But I just wanted to show you one of my carry cages here. Now this one is a 4-bay carry cage. It's pretty cool. It's got actually 4 in 1. So if we open up one of the doors here, you'll see it's actually got, let's open them all up I suppose. It's actually got 4 individual bays, or you can open up the, it's just a bit hard to do with one hand. You can open up the middle bay there and make it a 2-bay carry cage. So this is excellent when you've got a few birds you'd like to separate, obviously. And I'm going to actually have them separate anyway, just to make sure that there's no none of the birds get upset while they're traveling, or while they're staying overnight inside the house before I put them in the aviary. So yeah, when I get them home, we're going to have a look at them all, and I'm going to show you how I make sure they've got enough food and water for the night and the very early morning. But the thing is, I'll be putting them out in the aviary quite early, just to give them a full day to settle in. But these are fantastic, these travel cages. I've got many different types. I've got some that are just sort of the size of 1 bay. I've got some that are sort of half this, so it's 2 bays. I've got one that's quite large for larger birds. This one, of course, has your little side doors here, and one of the good things I like about this one is it has these little foam sort of stoppers or something. I'm not sure what you would call it, but it's just a good little safety barrier there for the birds, so that it doesn't just come flying out the hole. Now just be careful whenever you do open these up and sort of try and put your hand in to catch birds, or put seed etc in, because birds can get out through the tiniest of spaces. So it's good to do this either in the aviary, or what I do myself is I usually do any kind of work with the birds inside there in the laundry. That way it's a very small space and I have my net with me, and if one does escape, it's not going to stress out too much, because I'm going to easily be able to catch it and return it to the carry cage. But yeah, very excited. Going to go pick up the birds tomorrow after work, and yeah, when we get them back we'll have a look at them. So yeah, see you in the next part of the video. Okay guys, well here we are. So I've just been down to the breeders, and I've got myself 2 blue cockbirds and 2 split to blue hens. So they're all white-chested and black-headed, as you can see. But yeah, this is hopefully going to get my breeding off to a really good start. Now all of these birds do have leg rings, but what I'm going to be doing is putting on some of my own. Now I've got a tub here. This is specifically Gouldian sized leg rings, and for a few different finches actually. But by colour coding each bird, I can really identify them much easier. So I'm going to do that now. And just before I do that, I'll just see if we can have a bit of a look without disturbing them too much. Yeah, they look good. So they're nearly all fully coloured, or they're just doing a little bit of their molt at the moment. So what I'm going to be doing is having 2 birds at the bottom and 2 birds at the top. Each pair will get a seed bowl and a water bowl. And in the water I'll be putting a little bit of this, which is the spark liquid. Now this is supposedly an item that sort of can de-stress birds a little bit and give them some electrolytes when they're travelling. It's been quite a hot day today, so yeah, I really want to give them a little bit of a top up in their water. So I'll leave 2 pairs, I'll leave 2 finches down the bottom and 2 finches up the top. And they're going to stay in here overnight, as it's about 6 p.m. here right now. And I'm going to get up nice and early and put them out sort of very early in the morning. Hopefully that'll give them a chance to settle in for the day. So now I'm going to attempt with my tripod to show you how I'm going to put the leg rings on. Now I've got the leg rings I'm going to use here. I just soaked them in a bit of warm water for a little while just to make them a little bit more malleable. The 2 cockbirds, I'm going to use a black leg ring and a white leg ring. And then the 2 hens are going to be a pink and an orange. So I'm just soaking them at the moment. So I'm going to attempt to film how I do that, as I can ring these birds myself, just one-handed. Larger birds obviously are a little bit more difficult, but we're going to give it a go anyway. And once they're settled in, and I've got them set up here, we might have a look at them again, and then we'll go out into the aviary and show you how the aviary is looking ready for them in the morning. Okay, now as I mentioned earlier, I'm doing this in the bathroom just to make sure if a bird does get out of my hand or out of the cage for some reason, it's easy to catch. I've got a net here ready, and this room is very small. Shouldn't have any problem catching a bird if it does get out. Sometimes I do this in the aviary itself, and in that case you just let them go and it's fine. Now I've got my leg rings ready here. Now I'm just going to get one ready. So now these are little split rings, so all you do is just put them on the tool and they split open. So yeah, you'll see there it just splits them open so they can be put on the ring, and then when you take the tool out, of course, they close up. So to get that ready, okay, so hopefully we're going to get one of the cockbirds here. First up. And yeah, got one here. So I'm going to attempt to do this and show you here. So he's obviously got a leg ring on the other leg. We're just going to come in here. And boom, there you go. As you can see there, it's on there. So just give it a bit of a twist. I sort of push them together, help make sure it's nice and solidly on there, and there you go. So that's one of the boys now has a black leg ring. Okay, so there you go. There's the white one. Now finches you can do one-handed. Bigger parrots you'll probably need someone else and a pair of pliers, because you can't use plastic leg rings with all birds, unfortunately, because of course they just chew them off. So here he is here. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. See if we can get the his other leg. Here we go. I usually do that for you. They'll put their leg out. Oh, this guy doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, so here we go. That one was a little bit more difficult. Really doesn't want me to squish that in a little bit more, but I do want to, just to make sure it's on there nicely. Okay, so now we just have the 2 females left, so that's easy. So one is going to get the orange. I'm going to see if I can show you how it splits. I should put it on, there we go. So yeah, you just put it on there, slide it on, and get one of the hens. So same deal. Now this one's been cooperative. Whoop. Really sticking its leg out for us. There we go. Easy. So I'll just give it a bit of a squash together. There we go. Okay. And of course I've captured this one the wrong way around. Now, this is going to give us a little bit better view. I'm going to get the leg sticking out there. There we go. That one went on very easy. Close that one up a bit. Okay guys, so here's the end result. So we've got 2 pairs with their, now they have 2 leg rings. And they've got seed and water for the night. Now, while they're in here, I just have a quick check, make sure the rings are on okay. And they're not catching or sitting strangely. And they all look good. The birds seem pretty happy. They've already got leg rings, so they're used to having a leg ring, but now of course they've got 2, so that's a little bit different. Okay, so I'm going to put these in another room and I'm going to leave them for the night, and let's go have a look at the aviary. Okay guys, so here we are out in the aviary and it's all ready to go. So I have my stress perch situated, or roosting perch situated over on the left hand side, so they can either sleep on the perches there, or they can come in here and they can have one spot each, or they can share. So I've seen Gouldians sharing these positions before. I've taken all the nest boxes out. I won't be putting those in until January. Now I have my seed mix, a couple of types of millet, a grit mix, and this is a seed, because they're molting at the moment, it's a bit of a tonic mix for them to help with their molting. And of course I have their water right here, so that's all filled up. On the outside I've put the cuttlefish for them over on the side there, and yeah, so that's where they'll spend a bit of time comfortably enjoying the sun and a little bit of rain if they want to. And out here you'll see in future videos is where I'll be feeding them and doing a bit of recording when I give them some other foods. But that's it basically. I'm all ready to go. So yeah, the birds are all set up in their carry cage now, and essentially ready for the morning. So I'm going to get up nice and early and give them a chance to come in here and explore the aviary for the day. It's always the best way to do it. That way by the end of the day they will have found out where they can have a sleep at night. They'll be a lot more settled in, and hopefully be a lot more happy. So I will see you guys in the morning and we'll have a look at the birds in the aviary. Okay guys, well here we are. We have the Gouldians out in the aviary. They're looking a little bit frazzled, as you would expect. They've been in the little holding cage overnight and finally come out. I'll see if I can get a little bit better pictures. So it's a little bit dark at the moment. Sun's just coming up obviously, and in a few hours the sun will be over here and they'll look much better. But yeah, I wanted to give them the chance to come out this morning, get used to the aviary for the day, and yeah, I'm just I'm really excited about finally getting these guys in here. It's not going to be the best pictures right now, but as you can see they've all got their coloured leg rings on now, as well as their aluminium rings that they already had on, so that's going to make them much easier to identify. But they're looking great. Okay, well, I'm going to leave this video here. This is going to be obviously part 1 of the long series, so the next series I'm going to get some footage of them once they're settled in. Usually find birds take about a week to settle into a new aviary. Once I do, I'll get some footage of them, hopefully enjoying their new space and enjoying each other's company, more importantly. And yeah, trying out a few different foods with them. Did ask the breeder what they've been eating as far as sort of extra greens, etc. goes, so I've got a fair idea what they've been having, but I might just try out a couple of different things. Anyway, but these guys are looking absolutely awesome. Like I said, I love blue Gouldians. It's something I have kept before, but I haven't specifically bred blue Gouldians before, so yeah, pretty excited to be doing this. So yeah, thank you for watching this first part of the series, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.